The ramps serve not only as cheap and durable honeycomb, but they also prevent incendiary rocket fire lingering on the front door as it simply rolls off. The front door features two shop fronts to provide coverage to check for those pesky door campers, as well as an optional airlock to allow you to shoot out from the front door. As we head into the core, here you can see the internal bastion, allowing for raid defense from a door raid, but we'll cover this later. The core features 4 pods, 2 which lead to jump up chutes, and 2 that contain boxes and your workbench. You can expand under each jump up to store more boxes and storage. Going up the separate track now, we can see the internal bastion from the defensive side. The floor frame prevents anyone fitting through the gap, but allows you to shoot outwards, providing no risk of loss of loot when shooting at the aggressors. Going up again now, we can see the shooting floor. This features full 360 window coverage, as well as plenty of walls to take coverage behind, and full 360 peek down coverage, making raid defense easier than ever. With a variety of peek downs, an online raid becomes a very daunting task for raiders, with so many spots the defenders can pop out from. The triangle frame peek downs provide great visibility and are extremely cheap to build. Here we have a bedroom with space for 2 beds. Although limited in size, these bedrooms get you straight back into the action, and on our jump up to the roof you can see these 2 ankle biters that allow you to defend against ladder jockeys, as well as making sure it's safe before going up to the roof. Finally, the roof features full ramp coverage for all of your roof camping needs. The 4 walls allow the player to have much better protection, allowing the player to decide which angles they expose themselves to. And with that, let's get into the build. First thing you're going to need to do is build yourself a 1x1. You can make this out of wood if you need a starter, but I do recommend starting out of stone. You're just going to put a door on here with your lock and put your tool cupboard in this corner. Make sure it's rotated this way around, because otherwise we won't be able to get the triangle in. Here you can store 2 small boxes. With the new storage changes that should be more than enough for now, and you can fit 3 bags for your friends. Until you get a code lock, you're going to have to operate that door for your friends. Now we're going to install a triangle shelf, but to do that you'll have to pick up the sleeping bags first, because they block the placement. Now once you've done that, you can get into the second stage here. Just going to build yourself an X around the floor and surround it in walls. Now to know which ones are the boost ups, you just put them either side of the tool cupboard door. The tool cupboard should always be the back right one. Then we can put some wall frames here, which will eventually house your garage doors. But for now, as they won't fit, you're unlikely to have garage doors by this stage, you can just put a door on the next floor up here. Now that door will be the one you actually use to get in, and in the meantime, until you get a garage door, you can use that to block the entrance. It will prevent anyone actually getting through. But it is not sturdy, so don't rely on that for raid defense. Here you can put in your deployables. You can put them anywhere you like, but this is just my recommendation. A workbench in the corner and 3 furnaces, furnae, whatever you want to call them. And then you can fill in with your sleeping bags again. You can put them in properly. You can also upgrade to some large boxes here. Now I've got to say, in this footage my placement is not ideal, but you can definitely fit far more boxes in here if you know what you're doing. But it's just a simple setup. And if you can, upgrade to metal doors. Provide a lot more protection. Now for the third stage, you're going to fill in these corners. Don't worry, you'll be able to upgrade those walls from the inside if you ever intend on upgrading to metal, so you don't need to do that as a priority. And here we're going to add the ramp up to get in. It's important you place these triangles first, because once the ramp's been placed, you won't be able to place these triangles, so make sure to do that first. Now we can install the door and our wall frames that will house the shop fronts. And put a single door there and a double door there. That will act as your airlock. It's optional, you don't need to open it, but if you know that people are outside you can do as such. And here we're just upgrading the outside. Put a little roof on here. But make sure to leave this back one empty because this will be your boost up. So. Now this is your internal bastion, so you put a half wall and then a wall frame, and you can knock out the half wall and it will prevent anyone going through. A floor frame has the same health as any other stone deployable, so far more than just the metal window bars, and you can upgrade it and repair it if needed. Now you can take all these wooden doors off, they won't be necessary anymore, because hopefully by this point you've got enough metal to upgrade to proper doors, and this one can be moved out the way so that you can actually use the boost up properly now. You may have to pick up your boxes to place your doors, and if you can, go straight to garage doors, but it's not necessary. And once again, using the same trick to prevent anyone getting in through the roof, but giving us much more freedom to move around. Now for stage 4 we're just going to be honeycombing, so you can use these triangles and a few squares. You can knock out that one because the roofs will connect over a distance, which means you don't need to have a foundation for every single square. It reduces your upkeep cost. Now, if you upgrade the shown tiles to stone, the others are not necessary yet. And now we can start installing our roofs. Make sure to do roof triangles here. And you can see once upgraded to the same material, they'll all connect and fill in the gaps. It should be noted that when you're upgrading, it can detach two roofs, so you may need to, you have to upgrade two that are next to each other to prevent the gap opening. This is the most infamous one. You see, once upgraded, it all connects to each other. If you're feeling up to it, you can always hide some sleeping bags or emergency boxes inside there, so if you are raided and you lose your beds, your bags and everything, you can have hidden bags inside the honeycomb, which are really useful for retaking the base at a later point. Now this last one you're going to have to go to the top and jump, because it won't give you the prompt otherwise. But this massively ups the raid cost. Now for this stage you're going to need garage doors. Again, you might have to move that furnace if you placed it like I have. But garage doors are much more durable than normal doors, and they also go all the way to the ceiling, allowing you to actually use the jump ups here. And here I'm going to replace my boxes. You can fit more boxes in with garage doors, and if you upgrade your frames to metal, you can fit them in as well. Here I'm just going to ram some more boxes under the boost ups in case you need more space, and you can complement those with barbecues and shotgun traps if you want, and you can put more bags. If you want, you could always put another garage door and frame in the middle of the core, but it's not necessary. Just ups the offline raid cost a little bit. And once again, a garage door up here. That'll let you actually have roof access now. Now, stage 5 is the shooting floor, so the first thing you need to do is drop down and build this right in front of the shop front. You need to do the same position on the other side, but there is no shop front, so it's much harder to work out where you're placing. So it's this one here. You can see me trying to work out where I'm placing here. And half walls to get the low walls higher up. And then you can just knock everything else away and just leave these low walls up. Now we'll have to run around the entirety of the inside to get back to the shooting floor. But it's really useful having two separate tracks if the raiders are trying to get through your doors or through your roof. You have two separate tracks that you can use, and you're never ever risking opening a door and a raider going deep on you. Now those triangle frames accompanied by low walls make it so that people can't fit through the gap. They can't use a ladder to get in, which is really, really helpful. Now make sure you put these wall frames on the left side when facing the base. If you don't do this, you won't be able to install your doors on the right side when we build a little bit later, and people will be able to use a ladder just to get to your shooting floor and get inside. And once again through the inside track to get to the top floor here. Now you can start building on these towers and put the triangles in. You can see that these are making the gaps that we'll use for peak downs. And more triangles around the sides. This will be used for the peak downs once again. And there we go, we've sealed the track, so it's got another door on the top. I recommend using a double door rather than a garage door, because if you open the door and you realise people are on your shooting floor, if they're inside, you can close it very quickly, where a garage door you have to wait for it to go all the way to the top. Now I'm going to put in our windows here. And installing metal window bars. These shouldn't be too expensive, but they're not a default blueprint, so you may need to learn these. You can accompany them with metal window defences. These walls here mean that raiders don't have 360 coverage. They can't look into the base from various angles. It gives you space that's actually safe to not be sniped from. So here we're going to use single doors with key locks. I recommend using key locks because if your team aren't used to peek downs and they can open the doors, they will most likely forget to, and then it just allows people to get inside the base. So I use key locks to prevent my teammates accidentally opening these. Of course, they are only operational in the open position because it prevents anyone through the little gap at the end. Now we can start building the bedroom. It is a 1x1, so there isn't a lot of room for lockers. There is no room for lockers unless you only put one bed. But what I do recommend is putting a deposit box on that far wall high up. That gives you space for 2 kits with hazmat, SAR, ammo, med pens, and 4 other items. I tend to keep a SPAS 12 in there with buckshot in case I want to defend anyone actually coming up the ramps. Because of the ramps, it makes the peek downs really close to the actual raiders, making shotguns really effective at that range. And here we're just installing all the roof tiles. Now the ones on those windows don't have great stability, so I recommend building it in the pattern I've shown you there. Now we can install the doors. These lower wall frames allow for a boost up, but when open these doors also serve as ankle biters, you can see there. And that wall frame will be necessary later because that has very poor stability. Now stage 6 is just upgrading the core. If you've got to this stage, hopefully you've got enough metal frags. It's not too many. Just upgrading the core. If you can, I really recommend upgrading the chutes as well as the entirety of the internal bastion, because I've found when doing raid defense people often opt to raid in through there, which means the internal bastion is not as effective. It's still useful because you can use it from this side, you can use it from the door side to look back into the side, which is very effective, but just recommend upgrading it to metal and encouraging a door raid. It gives you much more control over the situation. Now this massively ups the raid cost once again. But if you want to increase the raid cost even more, just upgrade some more of the doors. That's upgrade them to garage or armoured. That's very strong. And finally stage 7 here. This is where we're going to be putting our roof camping ramps. You need to make sure to place all of these wall frames. Sometimes when doing the base I haven't had to place these wall frames, but often the base has too little stability. I don't know why that is. But here we're going to put our roof ramps. Obviously if you feel you have a better design for the ramps, please go for it. I tried a few designs, but I found this is not only the simplest, but it works very effectively. Now it's these two are often very low stability and will collapse, so that's why I build the wall frames below. And finally finish off by putting these 4 walls in here. These mean that the people on the roof have fewer angles to be sniped from. So yeah, that's my build for the Wasp. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you want to see more, please do subscribe. I'm hoping to make more Rust content in the future. Thanks.